Hello, welcome to another Energy Edit Live here on Slow. I'm so excited to be here. Before we get started today, I do want to say yesterday everything went black, and on my end, it didn't look like that until afterwards. So I don't know what happened. And also, I don't know, that's not what I wanted to say, but it came out. So, anyways, I do want to say that tomorrow I am going in for some dental surgery, and so I will not be here Thursday, Friday. I don't do Saturday or Sunday, so I won't be here for 4 days, and I'll be back Monday. So Energy Edit Live will not be showing up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in May. May 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th, and I'll be back May 11th. So, all right, you guys, let's go ahead and get her started. I'm going to look up the chart for today, and we're going to get to the right time. And then we'll show the chart, and hopefully everything won't go black. Hopefully. So here we go. All right. I think we have it up and going now. Remember, I'm not affiliated with these things. They just pop up. I can't make them go away. I can't cut them out. And that's what I was looking at just a minute ago. I was like, can I just share this spot? But okay. So we are on, I'm looking at Wednesday morning. That's today, this morning. And this morning at 8 a.m., the sun was at 16 degrees Taurus. So if you woke up after 8 a.m., you're at 16 degrees on Wednesday. If you woke up before 8 a.m., which if we look and we go back an hour, at 7 a.m. Central Time, U.S., the sun was at 15 degrees Taurus. So if you woke up at 15 degrees Taurus, it's probably a lazy day for you. I woke up at 16 degrees Taurus. I wake up early. Or 15 degrees Taurus. I wake up early. So it's a lazy day, especially in Taurus season. It's asking you to slow down, take it easy. If you feel lazy today, don't try to rush things, and don't make yourself feel bad for feeling lazy. If you like taking a nap, if you can, take a nap. If you can't, slow down, go slow with it. Allow yourself to rest through the processes that you're doing. So I just wanted to say that real quick before we move on. We're going to talk about Thursday, though. So we'll look at Thursday. At 8 a.m., the sun is still at 16 degrees Taurus. So Thursday, it's going to be ruled by Neptune. Neptune is at 3 degrees Aries. Neptune is helping us dissolve the beliefs in ourselves that no longer work, that no longer fit. Neptune is asking us to release the imaginations about who we thought we were, and to embrace imaginations about who we know we are now, moving more into a stronger identity. Okay, now looking at this chart of Thursday, this is why I like to look at the charts rather than fully write out everything. This is crazy. We have a grand rectangle, and we have a grand cross going on. And look, there's like an extra one too. But Venus and Black Moon Lilith, we talked about that for Wednesday, which is today. Wednesday, today, Venus, Black Moon Lilith is very active with that pull about it's between our values and our fears. Are you willing to move on what you value, even though you're afraid of what might come? And that tension may be like, no, the fear is way too big. And if the fear does feel way too big for you, my teacher taught me to go for low-hanging fruit in fear. So go for the fear that is easy to conquer. Look for a fear that is easy to conquer. If you feel like your fear is holding you back, it's going to keep holding you back. And if you keep resisting it, it'll continue to hold you back. But if you're willing to face a fear, you don't have to face the one that's holding you back because it's too big. You can find a fear, like just something simple, anything that you can face. Like you're afraid of ants or something, go out and let some ants crawl on you or something, even if they bite. I don't know if that's a good one. To me, the thing that always comes up for this is food touching. If you're afraid of your food touching, give yourself a plate and let your food barely touch and go ahead and eat it. And then as you're eating it, think about how it didn't really change the taste as much as you thought that it would, how it's not as bad as you thought it was. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best example, but that's my example of low-hanging fruit fear that you can face if you feel stuck. This seems like a lot of stuck energy. We have the moon in Capricorn opposing Jupiter tomorrow. That black moon Lilith Venus thing, it's mostly active today, but it's going to still be active tomorrow, even though Venus is moving on. So the fear can really keep you from being able to move into tomorrow. You don't want that to do that. So you want to face some small fears today so that tomorrow you don't feel as stuck and you're able to move, because movement is beginning with this, and you don't want to stay in the fear. It's going to hold you back. And we don't want that, right? But yes, and then Jupiter opposing the moon. The moon is in Capricorn, but Jupiter is in Cancer, and the moon is the ruler of Cancer. But the moon is like, no, 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 not like that. So this I find very interesting, because Jupiter is telling us to expand our emotions, expand our awareness of our emotions. And at 19 degrees, as we expand our awareness of our emotions, we begin to realize how the role that emotions play in our manifestations and how we can use our emotions to manifest more properly. Jupiter's saying expand your emotions, and then the moon is moving into Capricorn at 20 degrees Capricorn in the morning. It'll be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And then, if we go an hour, we'll see if the moon breaks that quickly. So this is it. First thing in the morning is probably going to be intense tomorrow morning. You see how just an hour later, it's a whole different chart, whole different designs going on. So this happening in the morning with the moon is kind of letting us know. The moon is saying, yes, you're expanding your emotions. Yes, you're seeing the role that your emotions play in your manifestations. Yes, you're seeing how to utilize your energy motions a lot better so that you can act on your heart. But you need to take responsibility for your energy motions. You need to take full responsibility in order to fully be empowered with your emotions. You have to take full responsibility of your emotions, and you are responsible for protecting your emotions. You are responsible for giving your emotions the proper time and place to be able to play out. That is your responsibility. The moon is saying, yes, you are expanding your emotions. You're beginning to see how powerful your emotions are, but realize that that is your power, and you must be protective of your power in order to utilize it for the greater good moving forward. You must be responsible about protecting your emotions. You decide the time and place for your emotions, and you let them decide the time and place for their emotions, because you're responsible for your emotions and they're responsible for theirs. And that's a tension that's happening in the morning. I kind of feel bad for the mamas tomorrow morning. It may be a little bit intense. Of course, a lot of us by 8 o'clock, we have our kids in school by then. So I feel bad for the teachers. But yeah, this right here is the morning time Thursday at 6 a.m. moving to 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. So it may be a tough morning. You might not be able, there may be a lot of tardies tomorrow with the school children because it may be a tough morning for families and for teachers alike. So moving on to the next square we have going on. Okay, the moon is also squaring Cryon while it's opposing Jupiter. And Cryon is over here helping us heal our actions and heal our actions by realizing that we need to feel our intuition. But in order to feel our intuition properly, we have to be taking proper responsibility for our emotions, because actually you can get the wrong intuitive hit because your feelings are off. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling anything under in is it Maslow? No, that's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a different thing. The emotion gradients. I talk about it in my course. I go over it in detail in my course. I can't think of it right now what it's called, but there's emotion gradients. Anything under numb. If you're feeling anything under numb, if you're not feeling love, peace, joy, happiness, contentment, those are above numb. Below numb is sad, angry, upset, feeling some kind of way, that kind of stuff is all above or below numb. All of that stuff below numb will interact with your intuition. And if you're not following the proper intuition, then that destroys your trust in your intuition, because you think that your gut's telling you this, but your emotions are getting in the way of your gut telling you that. So self-care is very important. Self-care is very important, especially tomorrow morning. Like, knowing this ahead of time is so great. If you guys are able to follow this and know this ahead of time, then know that you're going to go into tomorrow morning with self-care. And whenever people act up, you're going to have awareness of why they're this all of a sudden and just play into it. You're going to be aware, wise, and able to be like, I know why they're acting that way, and be like, it's okay, babe. We got this. You don't have the blue shoes today. We do have the green shoes. We can figure it out. I promise we'll have the blue shoes another day. I know you really want those blue shoes today. It's not going to happen. They got all money. They're all wet. It's not going to work. I'm so sorry. We will make sure that you have the blue shoes in the future, but today we need the green shoes, So you're more understanding of that, where it's, if you don't have that calm understanding, that it's like, oh my gosh, just use the green shoes. The blue shoes are not going to work. Can you not see that? Like, ooh, and you play it. So taking responsibility for our emotions and protecting our emotions is going to help us heal this action wound that we are collectively working to heal, helping us heal and understand how we can act in ways that either make the problem worse or make the problem solvable. And it's up to us how we choose to react. And remember, you choose your reaction, they choose their reaction. All right, and let's see. And we have the sun opposing the vertex. I don't know a whole lot about the vertex, but I do believe that's like where our luck is. So I'm not sure tomorrow's very lucky. There's something about our identity, something about our self-worth, and our ability to open our heart that is opposing our ability to feel lucky. Like, there's something about me being me and wanting what I want gets in the way of my luck, but it doesn't really, but it feels that way. And it's just a feeling. And this I feel like is more subtle compared to everything else, but that unlucky feeling, like back to the shoes example, the kid that doesn't have their blue shoes are all muddy and wet and can't be worn to school, that doesn't feel lucky. It feels like, oh, this is not lucky, and it's never going to work out. The key is to reassure that kid, and it may just be your inner child that I'm talking about, and the key is to reassure that kid that it isn't always going to be like this. It isn't always going to be great, but it isn't always going to be bad either. And you will get those blue shoes eventually. You just can't have them today. That's the kind of energy that's going on tomorrow. So yeah, I like to see how it moved throughout the day. So how we're going to end the day. And we end the day with Neptune squaring that vertex. Very interesting. So we start the day with our identity opposing our luck, and we end the day with the dissolving of the beliefs about our old identity opposing our luck. Or there's something about the dissolving of our beliefs in the old identity. Dissolving them will actually help us believe in our fortune a lot more, but we don't see that. We're not able to see it. So I would just say continue to dissolve the old beliefs that don't work. Continue to embrace the new beliefs about your new self and where you're going forward, and the luck will naturally show up. Also, everything else calms down. We do have like the moon still opposing Jupiter. So that aspect of take responsibility for your expanding emotions is still there, but it is slowing down by the end of the day. Also, Venus opposing Black Moon Lilith is beginning to pull apart and slow down. So we're beginning to feel more worthy about moving forward and opening our heart to a higher love, to a higher way of thinking. We're beginning to feel more worthy of the good thoughts, which is really good. And we're beginning to feel more worthy of opening our heart to good thoughts, to, I want to say cheerful thoughts, to happy thoughts. Although it could work the other way. There's going to be people opening their heart up to miserable, awful thoughts because they want to double down on that depression. As much as it's a choice, sometimes it's not. It's always a choice, but sometimes it's not. And even whenever sometimes it's not a choice, it still is a choice, but it's a harder choice. It's an intense choice. So yeah, sometimes those emotions take over so much that it's like, I have no choice but to go with this. Also, at the end of the day, Mars is going to be at 21 degrees Aries. So our ego is going to want to have fun, although it wants it now. It wants fun. It wants now. Fun now. Go to bed. No. All right. So, yeah, Thursday, maybe people might be staying up late. All right. So, I guess I can kind of mention Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday since I'm not going to be here for it. All right, I will. Friday at 7 a.m., we start with the sun at 17 degrees Taurus, which is ruled by Saturn at 9 degrees Aries, which is saying we need to take responsibility for our actions and we need to decide based off what our heart says is true for us. And we need to make commitments based off what our heart senses. Make commitments. Be willing to make commitments that your heart intuits is right. It looks like vertex is continuing to oppose the sun. So that whole identity, self-worth identity, and our luck is still kind of opposing. It's like, okay, I can move forward with this self-worth identity, but will it bring me fortune? Will it be fortunate? Will it be ill fortune? Is it going to be bad? If I move forward with this, am I going to lose everything? It may feel like that, but no, you're not going to lose everything. You need to trust your heart. Trust your heart with your commitments and your movements on Friday. Moving into evening, the sun will move into 18 degrees Taurus, which is ruled by Mars, which will be at 22 degrees. So, these evenings are going to be very, very energetic evenings. I don't know if Friday's a good day to go out or not because people are going to be volatile. Egos are going to be volatile. Egos that don't know how to sort their feelings through are going to be volatile. Hey, Lil, can you shut my door, please? Yeah, I'll get it. Hold on. All right. So, moving into Saturday, that vortex is just every morning it's going to be opposing it. So, as we move forward with our self worth and stuff, we're going to have to trust the process because it's not looking like any self improvements are doing any good. They are. Trust the process. But yes, Saturday will be ruled by Mars, which is at 22 degrees Aries. So it's a volatile day. Only the evolved egos can really handle this. Unevolved egos are going to be acting out. They will be acting out. The evolved ego will understand that the feelings are coming for sorting. So if you do feel intense on Saturday, any kind of things that are coming, you need to sort the feelings. So that means decide where the feeling actually belongs. So you may be feeling the past, the future. You may be feeling the present. You may be feeling his feelings, her feelings, their feelings. You may be feeling the collective feelings. You may be feeling your family's feelings. You need to be able to sort it out where it's coming from. So if you feel intense and you feel intensity, you can say, where is this coming from? Is this mine or is it belonging to someone else or a group? So once you sort it out and you know if it's yours, then you need to sort it out. Is this mine from the past? Is this mine because I'm focused on the future? Or is this mine in the present? The only feeling that gets to stay is your feeling in the present. If the feeling is yours and it belongs in the past, say, okay, then it belongs in the past. I'm going to put it in the past and let it stay there. If it belongs in the future, then it belongs in the future. I'm going to put it in the future and let it stay there. And we don't have to give it our attention so much. We can allow it to move through us. Oh, this past feeling is moving through me. It's a past feeling. It goes in the past. Oh, this future feeling is moving through me, which there may be future feelings because we may be feeling like, oh my gosh, our work is not going to amount to anything. That's a future feeling. I feel in the future it won't amount to anything. So I'm going to allow myself to feel what it would feel like for all this work to amount to nothing. It really sucks. And that's a future feeling though. I'm going to put it in the future. And right now I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on improvement and where I'm going because, in the future, if that happens, I'll feel it whenever it gets there. I've already felt it once. I don't need to do it anymore. If it happens to be, no, this is his feeling. This is her feeling. This is their feeling. This is the collective feeling. Well, I'm feeling his feeling or her feeling or the collective feeling for a reason. So I'm going to allow myself to feel that and empathize with them to gain an understanding of them. So it's his feeling. So I'm going to feel it and I'm going to gain empathy for him. And then I'm going to be like, but this is not my feeling. It's his. So I'm going to let it go to him, whether he wants to take it or not. It's his. I can empathize with him from that point on, but I'm not going to let that feeling move me any further. Most people will not be doing this sorting work. Most people are going to feel it. They're going to think that it's theirs and they're going to move with it. They're going to feel the past and how awful it felt. They're going to feel the future and how awful it can be. They're going to feel his, hers, and all of their feelings and how discombobulated it feels. And they're going to think, I got to do something about this right now. Right now. I got to do something about this. That is possible on Saturday. So watch out, you guys. Moving into Saturday evening, we have the sun squaring the vertex again. This is just, we have to have faith. All of our self-improvement looks like it's amounting to nothing, and it looks like it's going to not work out good for us. Also, we had Cryon move a degree, didn't we? Yes, Saturday, Cryon moves from 27 to 28 degrees Aries. So we go from healing our actions into healing how our actions manifest our reality, how our actions participate in manifesting our reality. And with the Mars coming up and sneaking up right there, it is right there. Like, we're healing our actions and the way that our actions impact our lived reality. Very much so. Moving into Sunday morning, that sun opposing vertex over and over. Also, the sun and Venus are holding a manifestation degree. Jupiter's moved on, though. Jupiter's saying that we need to protect our expanded feelings. It heard what the moon said. It was like, oh, good point. We do need to protect our expanding feelings. But yes, the sun and Venus are both at 19 degrees Gemini. So they're asking us to act on our heart, and our mind is finally more on board to acting on our heart. Our mind is more supportive with us acting on our heart. And this day is ruled by Earth, which is in Scorpio, and Earth is conjunct the vertex. So this may be a day where we get the first glimmer of all this self-work and healing work is actually going to lead to something good. It very well may be that, whoa, especially if you've been holding the faith and you've been sorting your emotions properly and you've been taking care of yourself, self-care. Sunday may be a glimmer of hope that comes through. Although if you haven't been protecting your faith, that means you've been having faith in a bad outcome. If you haven't been sorting your feelings, that means you're feeling your energy motions are pushing you towards a bad outcome. Sunday could be the first glimmer of that bad outcome being real. And you might come back and look at me and be like, I did all that. No, honey, you didn't protect your feelings. You moved with intense feelings. You did not sort your feelings. You did not open up to a higher way of thinking. You didn't move with your thoughts supporting you. I mean, I could name a dozen things that could lead to the bad outcome here. So that's why the previous days and holding the faith and taking care of these issues is so important. And we are now moving into healing our manifestations through committing to our feelings and how that we operate with our feelings. Sunday evening, the sun will be at 20 degrees Taurus, and it'll be sextiling Jupiter. So finally, yes, Sunday's a day that glimmer of hope will show up for sure. If we've been doing the work, finally, we're beginning to see how protecting our energy motions, protecting our emotions, and as they expand and sorting those emotions are actually leading to the future that we want to live in. And it's actually changing things. It actually is making a difference. If we've been doing the work and properly moving forwards with this, we will have a glimmer of hope that comes on Sunday. Moving into Monday, finally the sun's a little bit off, and it's not a direct opposition Monday morning. But Monday morning, we have the sun sextiling Jupiter. Monday is ruled by the moon, and the moon is in Pisces, which it starts conjunct that north node. So we're feeling our destiny in the morning, and then we'll move into feeling our karma and feeling our imaginations. And it's a day to protect your feelings. And as you protect your feelings, you're going to be able to see what all this work has been doing, because protecting our feelings actually leads to that good luck vertex. See, because Jupiter's trining the vertex as it sextiles the sun, which is opposing the vertex. You see that? I hope you do. I don't know. On my end, it looks like y'all could see it. I hope it's not all dark like it was before yesterday. All right. So, and what else do we have here? Venus is sextiling the vertex too, which is saying if you open your mind to believing in a higher belief, you'll be able to see more clearly how that can serve you moving forward. I mean, we also have the vertex or the part of fortune squaring Jupiter. So there's something about protecting our feelings that as we protect our feelings, it will lead us into fortune, but not protecting our feelings will not lead us into fortune. And we just don't see it on Monday. We're not able to see how protecting our feelings affects our fortune, but it does. It will. And moving into Monday evening, we'll have the sun semi-sextiling Venus. It's allowing us to open our mind more to, and it's more to having fun too. These evenings are really great. These mornings are starting off harsh, and the evening is like lay back, have fun, go out and party. Like, woo, but we need to get ready for the next morning that's going to be harsh too. So, yeah, these evenings are pretty nice. They're chill, relaxing evening. But yeah, open your mind up to having more fun and to believing in your ability to have more fun by Wednesday or Monday afternoon. All right, you guys, that would be. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope this helps in some small way. I know that it helps me a whole lot in my life. So I'm so grateful to be able to share with you all. I will not be here Thursday or Friday. I take the weekends off. I have a dental surgery, so I do need to give myself a full 4 or 5 days rest. 4 days should be enough. But I'll be back Monday morning we'll go over Monday and Tuesday. But until then, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful end of your week. And thank you so much, as always, because the world needs it. Walk in love out there, my friends.